welcome to another video. Today my hair is crazy, so please excuse my Wolverine hair. But in this video today I wanted to talk about actually something that you guys have been requesting more and more on my latest videos, and that is how to do these kind of do-it-yourself hacks or tricks or little modifications to clothing pieces to kind of get that fear of God look. Sometimes not all of us can afford the really high prices that those pieces go for, and also there's such limited amounts that if we want to obtain that same look but we can't buy the piece, it's cool to know these tips so we can get the same kind of textures and silhouettes and designs. I want to talk about 3 different techniques you can do. Let's get started with technique number 1. One of the classic kind of very recognizable elements of Fear of God shirts are, first of all, those plaid shirts that are cut off at an angle. And I'm going to put some examples of them right here. You guys can see the shirts are cut at an angle. They're very different. They're very unique from your traditional just plaid shirts that were kind of a little bit on the boring side. These are a little bit more edgier, a little bit more high fashion. You can actually make this look for very cheap. All you really need is a oversized plaid shirt, kind of in the same kind of color ranges of what you're seeing here, and a pair of scissors. Actually done this with a few of my plaid shirts that I really didn't like, because just the shoulders fit weird and they were too long in the arms, too baggy, and I never wore them. Instantly when I did this, they've become favorite pieces of my closet. This red shirt is cut at an angle so that, first of all, the undershirt can show. It kind of gives it a layered in your arm area. That's another Fear of God classic style. But also it's cut in a way that's flattering to the body. I bought this shirt from Zara. It was in a haul video and I really like the pattern of it. It is in a extra large size, so what you want to make sure that your plaid shirt that you have is maybe 2 or 3 sizes bigger than your true size, so it sits a little bit baggy. So if I go ahead and wear this, you want to make sure that these hems of the shoulders fall past your shoulder. So my shoulder is right here and you can see the hem is falling below it. Okay, so this is actually very simple, and a lot of you guys might comment and be like, well, we could figure this out. But for those of you that can't, or are kind of like, I guess, handicapped with scissors and arts and crafts like me, I didn't do too well in kindergarten, guys. It wasn't pretty. So I developed this kind of foolproof technique to make sure that your sleeves come out even, equal, and the right shape that you want. What you want to first do is actually close up the first few buttons, or if you have the patience, button it all the way. I like this one because it's one of these snap buttons. Okay, so once you have your shirt all buttoned up, what you want to do is, now we're going to do the cutoff. Now this is really simple because you just lay it flat, and if you see here, there's a hem that connects this part of the shirt with the actual sleeve. So since this is an oversized one, if we cut off the sleeve right here, this part of the shoulder is going to droop over the shoulder, giving that classic Fear of God look. Just take some scissors and cut along this hem right here. And these little strings and little imperfections that form are actually okay, and tear at certain places too to get some loose fabric, so that would be cool too. As you guys can see now, we have that classic kind of Fear of God plaid vest, and all we really did was cut off sleeves off a shirt. Okay guys, so this is what the finished product looks like, and as you can see, since it's oversized, it kind of has that drooping shoulder look here, and yeah, so you've got a kind of like Fear of God design vest for much cheaper. Okay, so the next thing that I mentioned in my videos and you guys requested for me to show you how I did it was these pants that I made based off these Fear of God pants. Now Fear of God pants have this characteristic, their shorts and their pants have this characteristic of having these really long drawstrings, and to a lot of people this might not matter and make sense, but if you look at the photos from the Fear of God line, you see that these drawstrings actually add kind of like a different element to the outfit, adds a little bit more complexity, a little bit more coolness, differentness. So I searched everywhere for these types of pants, and I'm like, how am I even gonna make this? Because to like restring pants. It's like getting it through the little hole. You guys in school had friends that would try to annoy you and take the little strap of your hoodie, take it all out, and then your hoodie would be like strapless. That kind of like, that was the biggest pet peeve of mine if anyone did that. And also whenever I wore white shoes, they would come and step on it and be like, oh haha, we like messed up your white shoes. I came up with this idea, and a lot of you guys might be like, well, this is like the stupidest idea, but I don't know, for me it was like, that's pretty cool because I can get the Fear of God look for really cheap and really easy. Basically can do is take some of your favorite sweatpants. So I took these, I bought these from Target, and as you guys can see, it has its drawstrings, but it's nowhere as near as long or the same format as the Fear of God one. So we can actually extend them by adding shoelaces. Now shoelaces have the same kind of look as the drawstrings do on the Fear of God pants and shorts. So basically you can just tie the actual drawstring, so tie it in a knot, and then within that knot that you tied, just loop in the shoelace. So when you loop it in and then do another knot right there, as you guys can see, you now have the long drawstring effect. So the third tip comes from the fact that Fear of God is known for and famous for their vintage rock tees and kind of their aged and distressed t-shirts. That's like a classic kind of characteristics of Fear of God, and as you guys can see, such cool designs, such cool cuts. And some features about these are that the sleeves are cut in a certain way, the bottom of the shirt is cut in a certain way, and there's some distressing done to the logos and graphics on the tees. I was actually reading a article in GQ where they were interviewing Jerry Lorenzo about his rock tee collection, and it was really amazing to know that these tees that are being sold, because they're over $300, $400, are actual vintage pieces. They're not just your regular t-shirt you can go to like Hot Topic or order offline. So I wanted to share with you guys some of these tips actually that you can do to your t-shirts to make them kind of Fear of God status. So for example, I have this Metallica tee, and I like the design of it. It doesn't look exactly like the Fear of God ones because those are distressed. This is just like freshly painted. It doesn't have the distressing, the sleeves are long. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this into a more distressed, high fashion kind of look to resemble Fear of God. So again, you want to put your shirt flat on a surface again, because first we're going to get started with the sleeves. So if you put it out like this, put the sleeve flat. And what helps actually is using a piece of paper. I'm using actually like an envelope, just as a guide for how to cut them. Now to get that half moon kind of look, what you want to do is put your sheet of paper at a diagonal or at a slant right towards the end of the t-shirt. So here's the sleeve, and you want to put it at kind of like a slant like this, so you guys see that the sleeve is covered, and you want this slant to be facing downward towards you. A lot of this is going to be trial and error too, so first we're going to cut, we're going to try it on. If we like it, then we'll keep it. If not, then we can go back and cut it again. You can go in again with your paper and make sure everything is straight. Once you're happy with the length and how it looks, you want to kind of pull at the sides of the sleeve. Since we cut the fabric, there's no hem, it's going to naturally want to roll up and give you that kind of vintage look that you're looking for. So already, if you guys notice, this sleeve looks kind of vintage and used up. So now we're just going to repeat the same on the other sleeve. But it's really easy because once you have one sleeve down, you could just fold it over, fold the shirt over, one sleeve on the other, and you could just use it as kind of like a template. And now we have two sleeves that are cut. Now the second thing we want to do actually is we're going to go open it up, and we're going to create kind of like a long and short look that we Fear of God pieces have. So you want to go in, lay it flat again, make one slit at one side. So you're just going to do a slit where it folds, So maybe about 2 inches or this much. So kind of pull it apart. And then do the same on the other side of the shirt. Open up. And so now that you have your slit, you want to cut off a little bit below where your slit is. So my slit is right here. So I'm gonna cut off only the front portion of the shirt. So this is the front portion. I'm gonna cut it off at about halfway up the slit. And then I'm just gonna cut it kind of not perfect. You can even kind of rip it. Because remember, all we're doing here is getting that aged and distressed look. So now that you cut it, you can pull at it again, roll it a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit more finished look. And as you guys can see here, now the back is longer than the front, which is kind of classical Fear of God style. You can rip up the slit a little bit more, it's good for layering. And see here, it already looks pretty distressed. So here you have it. So the graphic is still kind of something that's fresh off the printer, and it kind of ruins our whole aged look that we're going for. So for that, some classic old school sandpaper. So just get some sandpaper. I bought this actually for this video because it was all out. But sandpaper is really good for anything in this kind of like trends of distressed looks that are in, for jeans, for pants, for t-shirts. And then you're just gonna go in with your sandpaper. Now I hate the noise of sandpaper. And you're just going to cause some distressing to the fabric and to the logos. You can already see that I'm taking off some of this paint. It's actually turning out really good. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but up close I'm chipping away at this red paint. You kind of want to do it imperfectly, or not perfect. Another place that really gets distressed is the collar. So first we're gonna actually break the collar. So just take it and pull it until you hear like a snapping, kind of little bit of ripping noise. So let me just see if you guys can hear it. So it'll do like a little tiny rip. So getting that collar kind of imperfect. See how the font right now is really aged? Now another thing we're gonna do, we're gonna cause tiny little slits in the collar. So just do like that, little tiny slits. And then go over the collar with sandpaper. You have a more aged t-shirt. So let's see how this looks on now. This is what it looks on. I'm actually really impressed with how this came out. I might go in and age it a little bit more, but it just depends on what you guys want. Look how the sleeves are cut. I like to call these half moons. So it kind of gives this flare out look. Now I'm obviously gonna layer this. So see how the back actually is layered too. The front is distressed. The more you kind of like play with it and pull at it, the better it looks. So here's one. Now notice the details here too. You have these kind of slits here. So all of these little tiny details took this shirt from kind of like generic and boring to something that has a little bit more zing, or that's a weird word. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned some things on how to do some certain hacks to your outfits so you could get that Fear of God kind of look. And remember that I'm not saying this is the way to dress and this is the best way to dress. It's something that I really like right now. I'm just sharing it with you guys, and if you don't like it, obviously you don't have to do it. But remember, you can get creative with this too, and you can do, you know, take this to the next level and do whatever you want to do with your outfits too. So I would love to see you guys, you know, comment back with how you did it, how you changed what I did, because I'm always up to learn new things. Let me know if I could have done anything differently. So always up for discussion because we're a community here. We talk and you guys give me ideas, I give you ideas, and we inspire each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like this do-it-yourself videos. I do this all the time to my clothes off camera, but if you guys like to see it more, I'll be happy to do more do-it-yourself videos. Let me know if it was helpful, the way I filmed, everything, because obviously I'm still learning with everything. So thanks for all the support, thanks for all the love, and until next time.